Hey everyone, how's it going? Octopus here and welcome back to evercrisis. We're going to be talking about Zack's new banner that just came out that's not limited, but it is a really good costume weapon setup. It's just on the wrong character. Zack doesn't get enough love in this game, and it really shows when you're trying to look for weapons that go with this new costume and this new weapon, and you're trying to build his setup. It's very awkward. And then if you're someone who didn't pull for all his limited banners, being fire, wind, and lightning, and two of them were very special. One was a collaboration with Monster Hunter, the other one was a not Final Fantasy 6-month anniversary, and the other one was just randomly thrown in there without a permanent banner for him with a costume. It was just a weapon on someone else's banner. So Zack's in a very weird place in this game. So when we talk about this costume and this weapon, it's not that the costume, the weapon is bad. It's actually fantastic, especially for a featured weapon that's not limited. It's just the character itself doesn't get enough love, and I'm also worried that he will continue not to get that many banners to really make up for this multi-element costume. So there's a little bit of worry. I want to give you guys that ahead of time. If you're new to the game, you're wondering, oh, if I get this Zack, how will I do? There's better options. Not that this is bad, it's just not where we want it to be. We want Zack to be better. So outfit itself looks really, really cute. Right? Looks cute. Me saying cute. It's a butler outfit with the bunny tail. All right? You can't say anything else but cute. As weird as it is to say. Sword is really cool looking. Big, strong, ready to bash some skulls open. Everything else looks exactly like it's supposed to for a butler with bunny ears and a bunny tail. If you're a Zack fan, you're probably just going for it no matter what. But is it worth it? Like I said, yes, because it is a multi-arcanum, technically 5% off, of every element, so no matter what you build on Zack, it will work. And that Beatrix sword from Final Fantasy 9 collaboration didn't have a costume, so now we have wind, so that physical wind builds even stronger. Weird thing is, it gave HP. For some reason, they're like, Zack's a tank. He's a tank, even though he's classified as DPS. So they just give him more HP, more defense items. Like his weapon selection, you'll see what I'm saying. It's a weird thing to put in there. Nothing wrong with HP, but if you're trying to like multi-element, I would rather have him just go full damage than mix him with weird stuff. At least let him support the party with some attack all or some boost, right? Something besides HP. Now, for the weapon itself, it is the Sword of the Hunt, and at one copy, you're going to do 530% magical all ice damage to all enemies for 4 ATB, which you can see the new Hunt against the Tomberry. This is very important because if you can break the eggs, you get a buff, which is really, really good. So it's really catering towards the new event. The thing about AoE weapons, they're not as strong as single target weapons, and you're usually going straight to that character who has the most damage, so you can beat DPS races. So for the harder content, you're not really looking for the AoE stuff unless they cater towards that release of a weapon. And then after that, AoE weapons have always fallen off technically. So good damage for AoE, especially when we bring it to all the way to max 800% with exploit. As long as HP is 50% or more, you'll get exploit of 35%. This is going to do crazy good AoE damage. If Sephiroth with 700% and exploit does crazy damage, so will this. The thing about Sephiroth though is that he has good potency, he's got exploit, but he also has an attack in one where he lowers the elemental resistance and does the damage at the same time for 4 ATB, where this is just 800% plus the exploit 35% to all enemies. So only certain situations will this be prioritized. It is good though that again you're casting 800% and exploit all in one, right? So this is going to make up that difference. Even though it's AoE and it's not as high, it doesn't bring in a debuff, he doesn't have to keep reapplying exploit, which is really, really good. So for his ice build, fantastic. Just like Sephiroth, lower resist down, does damage 4 ATB. He buffs himself, does damage 4 ATB. So the weapon itself is crazy, crazy good. So for an ice magic, he does really, really good. Even if you're comparing him to Sephiroth's build, Yuffie's build, right? They have magic ice weapons. The fact that he can do two things in one. So if we compare that to Yuffie's here, 940 times 1.2, but it's just damage. It's high damage, but someone else has to buff, debuff, or she has to choose her other weapon with exploit cast that first, come back over here, another 4 ATB, where Zack's just going 4 ATB, right? So that compared to Edgewings, who has no ability at all, 800%, even though Sephiroth has exploit, he has to stop, cast exploit, come back, then do Edgewings attack. Again, you're losing DPS because you're stopping yourself and buffing. So here's the big benefit of this weapon. So when it comes to Zack himself and polling, it is built into this kit, because the rest of his kit is not going to really benefit from exploit unless you pulled on every single limited banner, and you have wishful thinking that they'll continue to give him more banners forward. So with that, we've got boost attack 62 points, huge R ability with boost ability potency at 39. Great. This allows you to use exploit on any of his builds because it's not dedicated to physical or magical. Same thing with the boost ability potency. Unlike Yuffie, where hers was specifically to 1, this can be used on anything. The only weird thing is if you do use it on physical, 508, missing 160 damage on a physical build, and then you add all those percentages from high wind materia, it's more than 160. So that kind of hurts for the physical builds that he has, but magic builds will definitely be eating nice. And he's got an X sigil with it. So my thought on the weapon, I think it's a really strong weapon. Again, when I keep emphasizing 2-in-1 weapons, 3-in-1 weapons, when you only need to use 4 ATBs for double or triple abilities, damage, mixtures, buffs, it's a really good weapon. And in this case, he's got no downtime for that exploit while using his magic build. Obviously, in his other builds, he's going to have to stop to do exploit, which is worth it, but it's so good to see it in one. And then again, the costume, the problem with the costume currently is if you have Zack's fire weapon, his lightning weapon, you have a costume that goes with that. Any future weapons that he gets in the future will most likely come with a 50% costume as well if they're planning to give him DPS. If they don't, this will shine. If they do, you're not going to really use this because boost HP probably going to get outdated by other R abilities. So it's good that you get to awaken wind ability, but when you look at his other wish list and you go through his setup, there's nothing here besides one physical weapon that you're going to benefit from. 620% physical ice damage. Ice resist is decreased. Again, his ice setups are really good. 4 ATB, just like Sephiroth, lowers ice resist and does damage all in one cast. So these two builds, ice magic and physical magic, physical magic, physical and magical ice, Zack's really, really good for that, right? He's going to shine really strong, but everything else he has here pretty much has non-elemental built into it, and if it's not, it's an AoE. So for an AoE DPS with elements, with that exploit, yeah, it's going to work out pretty good, but you have to have his limited stuff to really make this shine at the moment. So if you're brand new, if you want a magic ice that's going to do really strong, yes, go for it. But overall, it is a featured banner, so you can wishlist this weapon. The costume is the thing that you're going for because that's what's limited. And like I said, if you pulled from him before, you've got his better Arcanum. And if you pull for him in the future, he'll probably have better Arcanum. But it's still safe and good to get a multi-elemental costume on any character, kind of because it future-proofs them for anything they get. Because he might get another weapon that just drops onto someone else's banner with no costume. And you'll be like, oh man, I thought it would come with a costume. Good thing I picked up that Omni Arcanum. So, with that being said, this is one of those, it's not bad. It's just on a character that's not really being developed as much as other characters in this game. But if you do pull for it and you go for an OB6 to OB10, again, exploit plus damage in 1/4 ATB cast, you can't go wrong. Now, wish listing, a little awkward, and this is where I want to emphasize what I was talking about, that Zack's weapons don't really complement him too much. So if we go in here, organize the Zack, and we go through his setup, we want something that has magic, boost attack, or ice potency, right? So let's just organize it from boost attack and magic, because that's what his build is currently. And what do we get here? This is an event weapon, so this doesn't really count. Now, 27, 22 fire doesn't help the magic ice. Boost attack fire, boost attack critical, boost attack, and again, his new weapon has 62 boost attack, so this doesn't matter. I just want to show it. And then the only option between magic is the arc sword, which is an OG weapon. 628 is good. Magic defense is decreased, and you get 31 points into boost. So this is an option you can choose, right? That one's not a bad one just because it adds more utility. If no one else can lower that magic defense, then you're good. But realistically, if you don't need the magic boost, you would go for his Pressure Ridge, just in my opinion, because you can also lower ice resist, kind of like lowering magic defense while he's doing exploit. So he has his own kit, and it gives you that boost ice potency to make it just that much better of a build. So something like this works really well. You've got his new Butler, Sword of the Hunt, his new weapon. You use Pressure Ridge, his new Durandal. By the way, it's a reference to Final Fantasy 12. Not even a reference, it's straight up the weapon. If you look at it, his ultimate weapon, which we will talk about, it belongs to Vaughn from Final Fantasy 12. Just a little heads up there from Operami and everything. So, with this build, use Vincent's Keith Palug, I don't know how to say that, Edge Wings from Sephiroth, and Little Red Wreath from Yuffie, and you get a build of maxed out boost attack, maxed out magic attack, 110% ice potency, and ability potency at plus 40%. It's very awkward to build him because his own weapons don't give him double bonus to our abilities, so you're looking at that kind of wish listing. Here it is, Pressure Ridge, the Wreath, the Vincent weapon, Sephiroth weapon, and then if you have his other ones, you can do fire. There's other options for ice weapons. There's plenty. Like another one is Aerith's Snowflake here. You get boost attack 62, 39, and that way you can get away with like his offhand weapon being something else like survivability, because that will give you more towards the magic, and then you'd only need 2 other weapons, so you're fine, versus his offhand taking something. But overall, this gives him maxed out everything. It's just a little awkward to build around him. But still very, 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 very good DPS for what he currently has for physical and magical ice and any future element. So if you really want to, yeah, Zack is definitely a pickup, but it is also a non-limited, so it doesn't shine as bright as the other ones, but I think it's fantastic for featured banner. As for the ultimate weapon on Zack, it's pretty straightforward. It has 3 charges, which is really good. Kind of like Sephiroth's, but Sephiroth's gives physical attack up, extra high, right? And magic attack up, extra high, and it's only 2 uses. And then it's got self 2000 plus 3 ATB, so 2000 damage and 3 ATB, so 3 times he'll give himself 3 ATB. And he's got a unique R ability here, which is going to give exploit when you break the sigil phase. So when you're using X, triangle, circles, or diamond sigils and you break them, he'll automatically get this buff for 40% exploit versus his 35% on his main weapon. But you're recasting the main weapon over and over and over again. This isn't that exciting because it only happens if the boss has a sigil phase, and that's usually just once, maybe twice during one fight. So it's not a permanent all-around buff. You have to wait for a situation, and your character is already doing it. So it is a little awkward. On builds where it's not an ice build, right, you're using the wind setup, and you have to do exploit and then do the attack, this will save you 4 ATB for casting your exploit. Now in that phase of sigil, you'll able just to cast his fire, cast his wind, cast whatever weapon doesn't have exploit on it. So it is bonus there, but overall, I do think it's a good selfish DPS weapon, but it's also nothing too crazy compared to what I think an ultimate weapon should be, right? You most likely have a healer or sub DPS on there, always buffing physical or magic attack on the party, AoE, so not really important. 3 ATB is good, but it'll get you 1 extra attack, might be the make or break, but again, nothing too exciting. So overall, I think his ultimate weapon is good. It's going to work when it does work, but everything is like situational. Are you already max ATB? The 3 ATB doesn't do anything. Is the party already have an AoE buff for physical and magical? Most likely yes, because you want for the whole fight, not just when you cast your ultimate weapon. Then those abilities are kind of dead. But when you put the whole kit together, it is a good kit. It is strong. There's just a lot of, it's Zack. Zack needs more love in this game, and I really hope he gets it. Because if he does, this is a great pickup. Either way, let me know what you think about Zack, what you're going for, how you're building him, and are you just also completely broke from all these limited banners that just happened, especially after celebrating the 1.5 year anniversary. It's a lot. I have nothing for Zack. I got nothing. Either way, thank you guys so much for watching. Keep on smiling, and I'll smell you later.